Hey everyone, it's about 9:30. I just finished uploading my video from today where I worked on the electrical system, and I was watching a movie and all of a sudden the power went out and we're completely black right now. And I gotta admit, my first thought when this all happened was, oh man, what did I do? You know, did I do something wrong when I was messing around with the circuit breakers? But then I looked out the window and I said, oh, all the neighbors are out too. And I said, okay, that's either really good news or really bad news. Either it's something bigger than me or I made a bigger mistake than I thought I did. Well, it turns out it sounds like a squirrel got into one of the transformers, and this whole block is knocked out. In fact, then my neighbors across the street, their power is still on, but this side and the next block over behind me, they're out, and then you get to the next block, across the street over there, they're still on. So yeah, one of my neighbors, went out and started walking around, and one of my neighbors kind of saw me, and we started talking a little bit, and they said, oh yeah, it sounds like a squirrel got into the transformer or something like that. They said they heard it, and they called it in, and we'll be down for maybe an hour or so, and hopefully they'll get the power back on this evening. And then I continued walking, ran into a neighbor on the other street, and they heard it go out too. So I don't know, whatever, the joys of living in Waco. All right, it's 10:19. Power just came back on. Let's get on with our life. Hello, friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Buck Roll. All right, as you can see, we had a little excitement last night. Apparently, as I think I said earlier, they suspect maybe a squirrel got into one of the transformers. A couple of my neighbors actually heard the bang when the transformer went out, and the power was out for a little while. But, we got it going, and it gave me a chance to get out and kind of wander around and, meet a couple of the neighbors, so that was kind of fun. Apparently it was just really, really limited. It was just basically this block, this house, and the row of houses behind me, because the house across the street over there, they were lit up, and the house across the street from me was lit up, but just this whole block all the way down to the end was knocked out. So I don't know, I guess that's a kind of a clue how the power grid works in this area. Anyway, here's what I want to do today. I have had one of those little hose roller mechanisms that you roll up your garden hose in the front yard. It's actually been with me ever since I lived in the house in California. And I brought it with me, and I've had it for, I don't know, probably 20 years. Well, I tried using it about a week ago, and it literally just came apart in my hands. And the hose itself was also in pretty bad shape, and so I've just decided I'm going to replace the whole thing. Now, I tried doing a little bit of that the other day, and for some reason the connection that goes onto the nozzle on the house is stuck. So I put a little WD-40 on there about a week ago, and hopefully that'll have loosened it up. But I'm going to try and replace that today, and once we get that done, we'll see what else we can do to get myself in trouble. Let's do this. So yeah, this is my old hose system, and you can see the hose is kind of worn out and probably doesn't have much life left in it. It's been baking in the sun for probably 20 years. And this is the part here that just kind of came apart on me. I turned it on and tried to pick it up and move it around, and this part broke off and water started squirting out all over the place. So I said, okay, we've hit the end of the life on this one. And like I said, I was going to try and remove this, but this little fitting here got so corroded or something like that. Yeah, there, it just fell apart right in front of you. Beauty of live TV, right? Okay, anyway, that fitting got so corroded that I couldn't get the thing off. So like I said, I squirted a little WD-40 in there. I might hit it with a little CLR also. That kind of dissolves the lime, which might be part of the issue. Otherwise, if I can't do that, I may just have to take the fitting off the wall here and put the whole thing in a vise and take it apart that way. That's a little bit more complicated. I prefer not to do that, so let's see if we can take it off the old-fashioned way. And while I was at Home Depot yesterday getting the plug for the entertainment system that you saw me put and install in the last video, I said, you know what, I had to just get a new hose coil thing and a new hose too. So I did that, and so once I get the old one out, we're going to put the new one on. Yeah, I still can't get this thing to break loose, so I'm going to take the spigot off the wall. I'm just going to cut the hose here, and we'll take the spigot off the wall and do what I have to do. I might just end up replacing this like we did in the backyard too, but let's see, because I mean this one's getting a little nasty looking too. You know, maybe that's just a little quick trip to Home Depot and do that. But if I'm going to take the spigot off the wall, I got to turn off the water at the main again. Alright, so yeah, I got to shut the water off at the main. So we're going to open up this little valve here. I'm just going to pull the whole thing up here. Makes it a little easier to get at it. And that is the water main valve right there. I got to rotate it halfway or 1/4 turn. And then the water's off at the main. So let's do that. That's interesting. This one isn't a 1/4 turn. This one's a 1/2 turn to shut it off. But we got the water off now, so I am going to go remove that fitting from the wall and see if I can get the hose nozzle off of it. All right, good. I got it loose, and I can just remove it now. So now let's see if we can separate these two parts. If I can, there's nothing really wrong with this valve. Unlike the one I had in the backyard that was leaking like crazy, this one doesn't leak. This one just kind of looks horrible. So I don't know, maybe what I could even do is just repaint that handle and make it look nice again. But first priority is I got to get this part off. All right, well that's on there so good I don't think I can even get it off. I put this piece in the vise and twisted on it with a wrench, and I could not break it loose. So I think the best bet at this point is let's just go buy another one. They're not that expensive. Off to Home Depot, because you know how much I hate to go to Home Depot. Alright, so I got the replacement hose fitting. All I gotta do is just attach it now. First off, a little Teflon tape on the threads just to kind of make sure we have a good seal and don't have any leaks. And then just screw on the new fitting. I think I'm gonna get a wrench and clamp that down a little bit more here. Okay, that should work better. Let's turn on the water, see what happens. Alright, I've turned the water back on at the main, and I don't appear to have any leaks here, so that is good news. That's what you want. Now keep in mind, since I had the water off and the line open for a while, if you do this, when you first turn on the water, you're going to get a little sputtering coming from different sinks in the area because you got a little air in the line. Don't be concerned about that. That's normal. As soon as you flush all the air out, it'll be fine. Alright, I got the old one out, the new one in, the hose is wound up on the roller now. Let's fire it up and see if we have any leaks. Alright, I don't see any sign of leaks. Well, maybe just a little bit. Probably just got to crimp down on that thing a little bit more. There we go, that's better. I opened this connection up here and the O-ring wasn't properly seated in there, and that was why we had a leak. So got the O-ring into the right place and it's tightened up again, and water's back on and there is no leaking now. So that's what we want. Let's wind this thing up and move on to the next project. Alright, back in business. Let's turn off the water and move on to the next thing here. Now while I was out at Home Depot today, I also picked up a couple of these. I kind of like to try and deal with problems as they come up. And when we had the power failure last night, it was really dark in here. And you know, it took me a minute to stumble around, get my eyes kind of adjusted to the darkness, and stumble around to my cell phone, which has a flashlight on it. So I figured, you know, I was going to try and find something like this that would basically, I could plug into the wall, and in the event of a power failure, these lights come on. And so I found a couple of these, and we're going to get these installed, and I think that'll probably kind of wrap up our day today. So let's get these in. I kind of figured out where I want to have them. So like I said, in the event that there's another power failure, and it happens sometimes, we've had a couple of them since I've been here, and when it happens at night, it can be a little dark in here, so let's deal with that. Now, when I was looking for one of these, I was looking for something specifically that would turn on when the power went out and didn't do anything else. This has a bunch of other features. When it's dark in here, it kind of goes into this low light mode, but it also got a motion sensor on it, and if anything moves anywhere close to it, it gets bright. And I don't want that to happen, because that means it's going to come on every time the cats walk by, and that's going to be annoying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually defeat that function. That's pretty easy to do. There's this little electric eye right here, and if I put something over that, it won't be able to see anymore. It'll be blind, and it will continue to work everywhere else I need it to work. So I'm going to do that on both of these, and then we'll put them back in here. And you know what? At the low light level, I can live with that, and it won't be that irritating. But like I said, I don't want it coming on full bright every time I walk by, and definitely not when the cats walk by. So like I said, I'm going to just put a little black tape over that, and that'll blind it, and then it won't be doing that. I'm still going to have to deal with the fact that it comes on automatically when it gets dark. You know, because this is it in its normal mode, and when you turn on the light or turn off the light, it kind of comes in low light mode. But if you move, then it comes on in bright mode, and I don't want that. At least I can live with maybe the other part of it, but that's a little too much. All right, a little black duct tape over the electric eye, and no more powering on full power. Now it'll still go to full power when the power goes out, and also this little it'll go to that brightness, and the flashlight function should come on also. So that's kind of cool, but it should stay at that brightness. It goes to full power in a second when you first plug it in, but then it goes back to normal power again, and it will stay that way. And at this point, I think if I turn on the lights, the electric eye should still work. Yeah. So that still works, but I just disabled the motion sensor. So now I can walk by it and not have it, now the cats can walk by it and not have it go to full brightness, which is, not something I really want. I can live with the low light level. That's fine. I just didn't really want it going full power. So anyway, yeah, that was my day today. So hope you enjoyed that. Thank you as always for watching, and I will see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night. Oh, and don't forget, Monday is the last day you can buy a first edition t-shirt like this one. We got 4 colors, gray, blue, yellow, and pink. And you can choose your size, you can choose your style, unisex, women's, children's, and toddlers. And Monday is, like I said, the last day to get one. So hurry up, don't miss out.